CYFC for their 25th annual Foster Youth Awareness Walk on Saturday, May 17th at 8 a.m. at Susan Miller Dorsey High School, 3537 Farmdale Avenue in Los Angeles. This community-centered event brings together advocates, supporters, and youth to raise awareness and resources for foster care programs in the greater Los Angeles area. Please register at Eventbrite CYFC 25th Anniversary Walk. Congratulations to the Children, Youth, and Family Collaborative on their 25th annual Foster Youth Awareness Walk. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Go back to when they walking in the club. Play that belly from the top. Yeah, play belly from the top. Then I want you to go to the scene. Act bad, 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 act bad.
If you look good, act bad. If you look good, act bad. If you look good, act bad. If you look good, act bad. Act bad.
Act bad, act bad.
Act bad.
Act bad, act bad.
Act bad.
Act bad, act bad.
My act bad is activated. Hey, look.
Welcome back to KBLA Talk 1580. I'm Jill Monroe, your plug for the culture. Of course, you are locked in to this entertainment news update where we're always giving you the real, the raw, and the unfiltered, of course. So today, we got a lineup. You know, Andy's always on theme, and Act Bad is definitely on the agenda for the topics that we are discussing. I mean, I got to say that it is heavy, wild, and full of receipts. A lot is happening. So Diddy's trial began today in the Southern District of New York, and there are some allegations that are straight out of a horror flick, just crazy. There's a lot happening here. Graphic details that, you know, might make you side-eye every bad boy anthem that you can think of, but we'll see. We'll get into it. Also, Lil Wayne's ex, Denise Bidot, she got online on Mother's Day and had some of her own accusations to throw out at Lil Wayne, including that he put her to the curb on Mother's Day, and she's a mom, so that meant her child too. We're going to get into the details of that, and if that wasn't enough, Tory Lanez was stabbed in prison, so we're going to give you the details of all of that. We are breaking all of this down with facts, context, and commentary, that Monroe style, because, you know, that's the only way we do. Before we get into that, you know, I got a couple of conversation starters to get the night going. First up, Michael Jordan. Did you ever think that you would hear him comment on an NBA game? Well, guess what? His airness is stepping up into the world of sports commentary. He is joining the NBC broadcast that is launching next fall. The NBA's coverage, he will be a special contributor, And we obviously know Jordan's iconic run in the 90s and the NBA on NBC, like they're paired together, tied, right? And obviously it helps solidify the network as the home of basketball. And so he's back. They also have Carmelo Anthony in the lineup, Jamal Crawford, Reggie Miller, and NBC is trying to make you forget all about the NBA on TNT. So we will have to see what that looks like and how we're feeling that. Andy?
Good luck with that.
You not feeling it?
No, I'm feeling it.
Oh,
I love it. I'm all for the nostalgia. I just don't know. NBA on TNT has been on lock for the longest. It's going to be tough, you know what I'm saying, to eclipse that. Now, coverage on ABC, ESPN, I'm with you. But that TNT coverage, I don't know. It's been synonymous with the NBA for so long.
Well, we know that the TNT crew is rolling over to TNT, although Shaq has indicated he hasn't signed his deal yet, but maybe that has changed. So we'll see. Barkley has been daring ESPN to fire him. So we don't know. And it's going to be special coverage, like not every week, you know, special occasions. So we'll see about that. Also, Doja Cat was being real candid about a plastic surgery mishap that is happening to her. She performed this weekend at iHeartRadio's Wango Tango, and she had a revealing little chainmail dress on. It was super cute. And she took to social media, of course, to address what all the fans were talking about, her implants. She confirmed that the unevenness that fans spotted was due to a condition called capsular contracture. And in true Doja Cat style, she basically said, all I ask is that you don't clock my contracted implant. So, I don't know why she just didn't wear something else. She could have not had that exposed. So it is what it is,
Are these some new implants?
I think so. Like, the crazy thing that happened is Doja, I believe, had, nice natural breasts. I think she lost a lot of weight and maybe gotten some taken down or got some implants and then taken those out. And these, I'm not sure, but we play with parts now. I'm not mad at plastic surgery. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying we're very cavalier with it. And also on Mother's Day, Halle Berry took to Instagram and her ex account to share that she and her boo Van, they were about to get it in. They were in bed, looked to be undressed. They were covered up. And she was promoting her glide that is for menopausal women of a certain age and experience. But fans were pretty shocked that Halle was being open and, letting her freak flag or something like it fly. So I don't know. It's a lot happening. We're going to get into a lot of freaky tales on the other side when we come forward. You were locked in with Jill Monroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Are you ready for the hottest entertainment scoop in Los Angeles? She's bringing you exclusive interviews with today's biggest stars, behind-the-scenes Hollywood insights, and all the entertainment news you need to know. She's breaking down what's trending, what's ending, and what's just beginning in the world of entertainment. You're riding with Jill Monroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. You ready?
Somebody make some noise in this joint.
KBLA Talk 1580 celebrates its 4th anniversary this year on Juneteenth.
Here we go again.
Hard to believe 4 years has gone by so fast.
Oh my God.
But here we are, still standing, still loving and serving our people as best we can.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
To celebrate our 4th anniversary, we have 4 big events, and you're invited to all of them.
She got a lot to say. Let's do this.
Let's get it on! On Wednesday, June 18th, we go live on C-SPAN for the 2nd consecutive year with our Climate Justice Plus Black Health Symposium. Tavis Smiley will moderate an all-star panel of thinkers and influencers as we continue our vitally important climate justice work.
Hey, Tavis Smiley, talk about.
On Thursday, June 19th, you're invited to join us as we celebrate Juneteenth and our 4th anniversary. There will be plenty of food, fun, great music, good vibes, and all of your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts will be there.
Yeah, man.
Flip the beat. On Saturday, June 21st, there are 2 big events you're invited to attend.
I can't wait to hear it.
This year, KBLA Talk 1580 continues its annual partnership with the Empowerment Congress for a community celebration and dialogue to educate, engage, and empower. This year's theme is Resilience in the Face of Chaos.
Can't wait to see what's up next.
Y'all ain't ready for this.
And new this year is our State of Black Women in Los Angeles Symposium, moderated by Dominique DePrima, with a luncheon to follow. Dominique will be leading a dialogue with some of the most impactful Black women leaders in Los Angeles, and you're invited to join.
This is it.
All of these events are free, but seating is limited, so you must register in advance at our KBLA1580.com website, where you can find all the details you need about each event.
Check it out.
It's our 4th anniversary, and we would love to celebrate it with you.
I love you guys so much. There's nothing you can do about it.
We're KBLA Talk 1580.
The only black talk radio station west of the Mississippi.
Thank you for having our black.
Happy anniversary, KBLA.
We love you. Love you.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover's accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times?
You're playing the lute. Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
It's me, Olay Indulgent Moisture Body Wash. I see those dry elbows, baby. But don't worry, get moisturized right in the shower. So hydrated you can skip the lotion after.
Don't wanna see it dry no more. Skin so moisturized with
promise you now, no more dry skin. Your skin gets the moisture it craves with
Indulgent Moisture Body Wash.
Now back to more entertainment news with Jill Monroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back in. You are locked in with Jill Monroe on KBLA Talk 1580. So you know how this goes down. If at any time you want to get in on this conversation, 800-920-1580. We're also on social media, KBLA 1580. I'm at Stiletto Jill. You can join us in the YouTube chat. I know you guys are going to have a lot of comments and commentary on these topics tonight, so you can meet us in there. So let's start with the jaw dropper of the day. Let's just go ahead and get into it. Diddy's federal trafficking trial is officially underway. There was jury selection and opening arguments, and 2 witnesses all took place today. The reason why the jury was held over from being selected on Friday is they didn't want any jurors getting cold feet. Let me give you the breakdown of the jury. 8 men, 4 women. Notably, the prosecution struck 7 black jurors from the case, and the defense objected. They felt that there was some racism to that. There are 4 men of color and 4 white men, and all the women that are serving on the jury are women of color. So I don't know specifically how many black women or anything like that, but they are all of color. So we got that straight, right? All right, let's move to the opening statements. Now, the prosecution opened their statements and they were hitting it hard. They basically said that Diddy, was abusive. He forced these situations of his employees, victims number 1, 2, and 3. They said that Diddy hosted his freak-offs where Cassie and Jane Doe, which is victim number 3, which, if you have been caught up, we believe, in social media over the past few years as to who victim number 3 might be. It is one of Diddy's ex-girlfriends. She is not involved in Cassie in that regard, but more of kind of, I don't want to use the wrong word, but the word that's coming to mind is material witness. That might not be the correct language. However, we don't know if she's going to testify. She has kind of disappeared, backed off, saying she never said she wanted to testify under her name. So we'll see if she comes through, right? But basically, the allegations were that they were forced to engage with sex acts with male escorts while Diddy watched and recorded. It should be noted, because all of you freaky tales, freakies out there, so far there's been no indication that Diddy and the man were sexually involved, okay? These escorts. It should also be noted that I'll get to that when I get to the defense. So we know what the allegations have come out. One of the things that the prosecution mentioned was they are alleging that Diddy forced a sex worker to urinate in Cassie's mouth and that she gagged during one of these events. They also mentioned an incident that happened, I believe, around 2011, 2012, where Diddy got very angry and snatched Cassie out of an event and allegedly stomped her out in an SUV. I mentioned when this case first was brought up that exact scenario, word for word, pretty much, that was mentioned in Cassie's original civil lawsuit filing was repeated on Lipstick Alley in 2011, 2012, when this incident allegedly took place verbatim. So those details do kind of have a lineage to match up, that someone put it out there that Diddy had done this back in 2011 on that website, right? So 2 witnesses hit the stand. The former Intercontinental, that's the hotel where we saw the video of Diddy and Cassie in the altercation, and Diddy, attacking her, basically. But there are questions which the defense brought up about how that situation was looked and approached, and we'll get into that. And that individual was a supervisor for security, and now he is an LAPD officer and one of the male escorts that was involved in the freak-off, who gave very detailed account of the situation. All right, so let's start with the former security guard, right? Well, let me give you the defense's opening statements in a nutshell. So basically, they are willing to concede that Diddy has been violent, has a temper, that they had a contentious relationship, that they were toxic with each other, that basically they be fighting, y'all. That's what they're saying, that they fight each other, that it's not just Diddy abusing Cassie, Cassie abused him. They were jealous. There were things in that video that were not shown in the edited version, which the court was shown, which, by the way, when this witness was on the stand of the Intercontinental, and I just want to say, I did the research on this so you guys didn't have to. I listened to a couple of different sources that were in the courtroom, read some of the documents. So I am, taking multiple bits of information from various entities and giving you the tea because it's important. So anyway, the supervisor said that Cassie, what we didn't see in the video was Cassie called on the security phone and was asking for help to get out of the building. So someone else called back and said, he said Cassie picked up the phone. So he rushed up there because someone said there was a man attacking her. When he got out there, Cassie wasn't visible to him, but Diddy was. And so there was an altercation where he said he followed verbal altercation that Diddy tried to approach Cassie. Allegedly, all of this was not over Cassie trying to leave and escape or leave him. It was over her taking a phone, that the phone allegedly had something and Diddy did not want her to take his phone. So the security officer was basically like, he didn't want them to have this out there. What needed to happen. He walked back to the hotel suite with them. Brian Steele, the lawyer, tried to trip the security guy up. He was like, what type of room was it? Can you describe the layout of the room? The security guard couldn't. And Brian was like, but you remember all the details of what happened on this thing? And he was like, yeah, I do. For example, Brian said there was a man that was in the room that was sitting on a bed when he kind of stopped Diddy with his foot from closing the door and opened the door to peer in to make sure everything was okay. And Diddy and Cassie were arguing at this point, and the other guy was just sitting on the bed observing, right? So he was calm. I guess the security guy left and asked Cassie if she needed help. She said no, she just wanted to leave, and that Cassie eventually went to the exit and there was a car that pulled up for her. Prosecution is leading you to believe that the car was someone that Diddy called. We don't know for sure, but the security said that he left and told Cassie he would be back to take a report because she did not want to call the police. And when he came back to take the report, she was gone. So that is what went down with the security guard. I want to mention something that he may have recorded. There's no way, he said, only advanced supervisors can go back and re-record the footage or erase the footage. So he said he could not tamper with the footage. So that's kind of the long and short of security on the stand. Seems as though he made a credible witness. There were questions as to why he maybe didn't do more. As I said, he is currently in law enforcement. I don't know if a victim says, I'm okay, don't call the police, but you see this interaction, do you intervene? We don't know. But that is what went down with that. Now, listen. The Intercontinental security guard also said that Puff tried to bribe him. Puff's lawyers argued that really Puff was trying to give money for the broken vases and furniture and things that had taken care of. He said he went and it was like, they laid it out like it looks like, an arm's length worth of cash, and basically, offered him to pay this off in exchange for silence, but he said he declined. And he said he returned later to remind Diddy about the hotel's rules and said Diddy questioned him about whether he had been recording and snatched his phone from him. Israel Flores is the security guard's name, says that he pinned Diddy to the wall and explained that he only had his phone to take pictures of the broken vase for the incident report, but admitted to that he recorded the footage and showed his wife at home. And when he returned to work 2 days later, the footage was gone off of the hard drives at the hotel. So he did, though, record the footage on his phone, take it home, show his wife, but did not call law enforcement or do anything in that nature. So he also said that Diddy offering the bribe, even though he didn't say it, he knew what he was saying, right? So there's that. That's the first witness. That's kind of what we went through. Now, the second witness is a male dancer, and he testified about his experiences with alleged freak-offs with Cassie and Diddy, and said he admits that he was paid by both of them at various points. He said that he felt he could tell that something was off about the ordeal. He said that he was booked through an escort agency, and an escort agency, basically, you pay for company, right? Not sexual favors, but company. These are people that you pay for their time. And this guy was also a dancer, so he was supposedly being booked for a bachelorette party. Said he came, and Cassie came up to him after and was like, "You're really good." And she tipped him $2,000 and was like, "Hey, so there's more where that came from. Do you want to hang out and, have an extended thing?" He says he walked into the room and, and he was like, "Yeah, sure." He said that Cassie had on a red wig and that Diddy had on a white bathrobe, a bandana up around his face, and a New York Yankees fitted on, but he knew from Diddy's voice that it was Diddy. He said from years of hearing Diddy in film, TV, music, and stuff, that's how he knew it was him. But that, Cassie initiated it, all of these things, but Diddy was controlling it. He said that Cassie was the one who asked that he urinate in her mouth. She got upset because both he and Diddy got upset because they said that he was doing it wrong. So Cassie was the one that also, per him, asked for his phone number. And that when he left after this initial encounter, right, and he said the encounter was over very quick, that Diddy was in the corner taking care of himself while these things were happening. There was a lot of baby oil. He kind of gave instructions. He wanted them to act, but he said that, and this might be a detail for a future one, because this person interacted with them in freak-offs in hotels, primarily in New York, at Cassie's home, occasionally at Diddy's home, and various hotels around the city for quite some time. And that Cassie, when he left, he said he shot his load real fast and then he left. And he said it wasn't long at all. They asked how long the experience was, and he said not long at all. But he went outside. Cassie asked him to send a picture of his genitals, and he did. And she said, "Can you come back up?" So he came back up, and he said this time it was longer. And he said, he has to be honest, he liked having the freak-offs with them. He enjoyed the time that he spent with them. He said not for the money, but because of the notoriety. He says that once he saw Diddy allegedly hit Cassie, that's when he felt like he couldn't participate anymore. He said that Cassie was always the one that would contact him. He said sometimes he would try and reach out to her and say sexual stuff to get her to respond, because he knew that that was the only way that she could respond, by getting Diddy's interest. But he said he really was doing it to make sure Cassie was okay. He said the times that he saw Diddy put his hands on Cassie, he never intervened, and he doesn't know why. There was one instance that he talked about where they went in the room and argued, and that Cassie came out and ran and jumped into his arms. That was something that never happened. They had never kissed before. This night, they started kissing and got really going, and they made out, and Diddy watched. This was after an argument. So sounds like they had a lot of role play going on. He said Diddy tried to have them role play, but they both were bad actors. So Diddy was like, nah, bump that. And that Diddy wanted to have them act out scenarios and scenes a lot of times. He also said that Diddy did not allow a condom to be used, and that Cassie never showed him her clean paperwork, and that Diddy, on one occasion at least, went in and had sex after he had sex with Cassie behind closed doors. He did not watch whatever happened. He sat in the living room for like an hour or two and waited till they were finished. He admitted that drugs had been involved. He said Diddy gave him Molly, and that there was an occasion when he came and Cassie was slumped and that they couldn't have sex. And he says Diddy had an obsession with baby oil, even stopping them in the middle of sex one time because they weren't oiled up enough. So there's a lot there, right? A whole lot there. And, you know, like I said, Diddy's defense is saying this was a toxic relationship, a very sexual relationship, a very intense thing that they were into a lot of things. And they are trying to paint it that Cassie was equally involved. So Cassie is expected to testify sometime this week, maybe as soon as tomorrow. Remember, Cassie is at least 6 months pregnant currently. So this is going to be a very trying experience for her on the stand and for the witnesses. Diddy's family was in the courtroom, and his daughters did leave out when this part of the conversation was discussed, but his mom was there, Misa was there using a walker. We're not really sure why. And his other children were there. So when we come forward, we'll get into more details on day one of opening arguments and witness testimony at the Diddy trial, plus details on Tory Lanez, Lil Wayne, and more. You're locked in to Jill Monroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Act bad, act bad, act bad, act bad, act bad.
If you look good, act bad. If you look good, act bad. If you look good, act bad. If you look good, act bad.
Act bad, act bad.
Act bad.
Act bad, act bad.
Act bad.
Act bad, act bad. Yeah, come on, yo, shorty wop.
He wanna sponsor my act bad, double R black bag, time for a black tag. Rocking out Chanel with a black bag. Yes, give it body.
You're in the know with Jill Monroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Day one of Sean Diddy Combs' sex trafficking trial ended with graphic testimony. Prosecutors showed 2016 footage of him beating ex-girlfriend Cassie, and a stripper said he was paid to have sex with her while Combs watched. New Yorkers say they aren't sure how the case will end.
I think that we won't see the justice that he deserves because he's that big of a figure.
The defense argues it's just about his private life, but Combs faces life in prison if convicted. Black Baltimore Mayor Brandon Scott is speaking out after Black Newark, New Jersey Mayor Ras Baraka's arrest, calling it an attempt to intimidate those who stand up to the Trump administration. Scott says he knows Baraka as an impeccable public servant and stands with him. And Michael Jordan is joining NBC's NBA coverage this fall as a special contributor. It's the network's first time airing NBA games since 2002. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
West LA, 405 northbound, slowing down away from the 10. You're on the brakes ahead to Nordhoff and North Hills. And we're looking at the southbound side. It's slowing in Culver City, leaving the 10. On the brakes and stretches as you continue ahead towards the 710 freeway. Also crowding up in Anaheim, 91 eastbound from Kramer-Glacelle. Delays all the way to Green River. Very slow into the Cajon Pass. 15 northbound, leaving the 210 freeway. And that drive remains really slow to Kenwood, heavy to the 138.
Compassion sponsorship means food, healthcare, education, and more for a child in poverty. And there are thousands of kids who've been waiting over a year and their wait. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Text the word radio to 83393.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
I'm a bad man.
Michael Jordan has agreed to become a special contributor for NBC for the network's NBA coverage starting next season. NBC is replacing ABC as part of the NBA's new broadcast package. The 62-year-old Jordan is taking on his first TV role covering the NBA since he retired in 2003. Before his deal with NBC, Jordan had no affiliation with the NBA at all. He was a majority owner of the Charlotte Hornets but sold his team in 2023. NBC did not give specifics on how they plan to use Jordan, considered by many as the greatest player of all time. Jordan led the Chicago Bulls to 6 NBA championships and was a 5-time league MVP. The Dodgers are off today. They begin a 9-game homestand Tuesday against the Oakland A's. At 27-14, the Dodgers have the best record in Major League Baseball. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 invites you to join the Children, Youth, and Family Collaborative, CYFC, for their 25th annual Foster Youth Awareness Walk on Saturday, May 17th at 8 a.m. at Susan Miller Dorsey High School, 3537 Farmdale Avenue in Los Angeles. This community-centered event brings together advocates, supporters, and youth to raise awareness and resources for foster care programs in the greater Los Angeles area. Please register at Eventbrite CYFC 25th Anniversary Walk. Congratulations to the Children, Youth, and Family Collaborative on their 25th annual Foster Youth Awareness Walk. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
During this time, it's important for everyone to know your rights. The 4th, 5th, and 6th Amendments in the U.S. Constitution protects every one of us, regardless of immigration status. The 4th Amendment requires a judicial warrant to search your home. The 5th protects your right to remain silent, and the 6th gives you the right to an attorney. Just remember,
no warrant, no key, fly privacy. You don't have to speak. No lawyer inside. Don't say a thing. Yeah, we all got rights.
Hey, we all got rights.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about. KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you that we keep us safe. The Live Your Life organization mentors young women, helping them break negative mindsets and see beyond their surroundings. Through career exposure and hands-on training, they're encouraged to think big, stay focused, and make positive choices. Founded by Nikisha Mama Boo Smith, who transformed her life to become a community leader. Live Your Life is changing lives, but they need your help. They're raising funds to keep their new building open and expand their program. Your donations will support food, clothes, hygiene products, and holiday giveaways. Visit liveyourlife32.com. That's LIVEYOLIFE32.com to help today. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
You're listening to Jill Monroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Make a clap to this.
To show our appreciation for your support.
Make a clap to this.
Thank you, DJs.
Make a clap to this. 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 I said it before, I never let the mic magnetize me no more, but it's biting me, fighting me, inviting me to rhyme. I can't hold it back, a I'm looking for the line, taking off my coat, clearing my throat.
Welcome back in. You are locked in with Jill Monroe on KBLA Talk 1580. Shout out to Eric B and Rakim. Get that one off. All right, so listen. Did you rinse yourself off a bit? Did you like get a snack, a libations? Because that was pretty, it was a little dirty, a little filthy. There's a lot of detail there, a lot of context, but I told you I want to make sure you got the facts. You really know what is happening and what is being said in this case.
So, yeah, that was a lot. It was a lot to, consume and ingest. Preliminary thoughts before you continue moving forward. This might soften a tiny blow from Diddy, considering how toxic of a relationship that they both had based off of these statements. As you were speaking, it had me thinking about Blueface and Krishan Rock.
Mm-hmm.
And it had me maybe question Cassie a little bit like you were cool with the abuse. Now I'm sure maybe there was fear there, and that's maybe, why, she may be allowed to continue to go through that. But, you willingly put your hands on Diddy as well.
This is what they're saying.
I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. So, and then the question is, in all of that, horrible person, obviously, as I mentioned, they are submitting that he did this. He's a bad temper. He's not nice guy. But does that equate to sex trafficking? He's not on trial for domestic violence. That's a state crime. So you have to keep focus on what the charges are. Now, the one that could get tricky is the third charge about bringing, S workers across state lines. But again, if they were paid by Cassie, once again, this is a one-person RICO charge. Who is co-conspirators and why aren't they being charged? So there's a lot happening there. We will have to see what develops tomorrow. Because remember, this is just day one. All right. So, let me know your comments, of course. I want to hear what your thoughts are. There's a lot to digest there, obviously. And this trial is certainly going to shake up and wake up some people in the industry. But Diddy's not the only one stepping out with allegations this week. Let's talk about Lil Wayne and what went down on Mother's Day. So Lil Wayne's ex-fiance, I guess her name is Denise Bidot. She is a plus-size model. She's been featured in Sports Illustrated. She dropped some strong accusations of physical and emotional abuse and manipulation and eviction on Lil Wayne. And she said this all happened while she is recovering from surgery, a mommy makeover, I believe. So let's get into these details. She accused him of physical and emotional abuse. She got on live and said Wayne kicked her out of the house, broke up with her by text message on Mother's Day. She said she was unwell because she's just coming off of surgery and could not move the things out of the house. So she said he sent his assistant over. And now she is alleging they've been together, I think off and on, because, at other points we've seen Wayne with other women pop up. You know how these relationships seem to go. They were engaged, and now she is alleging that he was abusive at certain points as well. She did not offer up any proof other than her saying this. She had her daughter featured in the video as well. She also shared that Wayne had 2 girls flown in the same day that he was putting her out, adding to the emotional weight of the situation. One of them is a reality star, a white woman reality star, because I know you guys want to know those things, that he has been rumored to be dealing with since December of 2024. Her and her friend have been on social media, talking about Lil Wayne and attending things at her first Lil Wayne concert. And the friend said Lil Wayne, they were going to LA. They got picked up in a drop top and they were cruising the city and being out by the pool and the cocktails. And it was so nice. And these look to be, I don't watch the show that they're featured on, the reality show. So you guys can do your research and get into that. But do you think it's a case of Denise being mad that she was dropped and played and that Wayne was allegedly shuffling her out to shuffle in the next woman? She said that she picked up her whole life and moved from New York because he asked her to live with him, brought her child with her, and that now she has nowhere to go and he's just cut her off. So I don't know. Aren't you supposed to have a little stash account, little something in the tuck just in case things go left? I think so. But, we'll have to see. There's so much happening on these fronts, in these streets. And these rappers, this is, so to speak, a hip-hop Me Too movement. Now, I will have to say, once again, I know it is Believe Women. And we understand we are talking about rich, powerful men that have means. But these women seem to stay for an extended period of time, and that brings up questions for a lot of people. Again, understanding the control aspect that we talk about and things of that nature. But in Denise's case, your first statements weren't, Wayne hurt me and has hurt me. They were, he kicked me out for chick 2B. So those are the type of things that I guess causes people to have questions and to feel as though maybe these women are in it for the financial gain and whatever comes along with that until they are cast aside. So we will have to see. Look, when we come forward, we're going to get into the details of Tory Lanez and what happened to him in a California Correctional Facility. He has spoken out via someone on his Instagram, so we'll get into those details. And, of course, we got more trending topics and headlines for you. And we'll get into some of this YouTube chat commentary. All of that and more on the other side. You're locked in with Jill Monroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
You're riding with Jill Monroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
During this time, it's important for everyone to know your rights. The 4th, 5th, and 6th Amendments in the U.S. Constitution protects every one of us, regardless of immigration status. The 4th Amendment requires a judicial warrant to search your home. The 5th protects your right to remain silent, and the 6th gives you the right to an attorney. Just remember,
no warrant, no key, privacy. You don't have to speak. No lawyer inside.
Don't say a thing.
Yeah, we all got rights.
Hey, we all got rights.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Autopsy Initiative provides a second autopsy free of charge for victims' families who have lost their loved ones due to a police-related death. The services offered through the initiative include the completion of a second autopsy, disclosure of preliminary findings, and a final autopsy report. A police-related death is when an individual is harmed by police officers using deadly force, which results in an individual's death. Police-related death includes in-custody deaths, including those that arise during contact with law enforcement officers during arrest, pursuit, booking, transport, or incarceration. The Autopsy Initiative has a team of board-certified pathologists on call. An autopsy request may be completed by anyone with a close relationship with the victim, which may include the victim's spouse, partner, relative, close friend, or lawyer. To request a free second autopsy for a victim of police violence, please visit knowyourrightscamp.com. That's knowyourrightscamp.com. Then click on Autopsy, then click on Request. At KBLA, we believe in justice for victims of police violence. We say their names, and we don't black down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to Jill Monroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back in. You are locked in with Jill Monroe on KBLA Talk 1580. I told you I'd get into this chat. First up, shout out to Morris Phillips. He says, thank you, Jill and the KBLA family, for those Queen's concert tickets on Mother's Day. My wife was jumping up and down last night. Thank you. We made her happy on Mother's Day. I love to see it. I love to hear it. I'm glad that you guys had a good time. I know that concert was lit.
Shout out Morris. And also shout out Deborah Scott. Don't even trip. We got you.
Shout out Deborah Scott. We got you. We got you. We appreciate you guys for tapping into the show. And we are going to, continue the love fest because that's what we do. Forrest Harrison also said, I don't think the women stay because of the dollars. I know some women that stay with abusive men that only have an EBT card. Well, I mean, there are a lot of reasons and things that can make people want to stay in those situations. Some of it might be security. Some of it might be no other options. Some might be that they don't know any other life or they don't have an outlet. But I guess the feeling for some is that when it comes to an individual with means, there is more incentive to allow things that you may not allow because you are not just taken care of, you are exposed to a lifestyle, lavish trips, events, high impact things. So again, I'm sure the defense is going to get more into that aspect of things carefully, but we will have to see. Let's see. Justin Logan is asking why we aren't talking about the Akromby and Fitch trial. Has that started yet? And, listen, if there's an interest, I can talk about it. But thus far, I've seen more interest in this particular case here for our listeners than perhaps that one. But if there's an interest, I can certainly research it and get into some of the details. I have heard about it, but I have not been following it in the way that I have been following this one. So let's get into Tory Lanez because this is kind of crazy and, sounds like a movie situation, scripted. There are some people on social media that are not, let's say, upset that this incident happened. So basically, Tory Lanez was stabbed during a yard altercation at a California Correctional Institution in Tehachapi. He is currently recovering from these injuries, right? He was rushed to a nearby hospital. They said that his injuries are non-life threatening. We know he's serving a 10-year sentence behind his shooting of Megan Thee Stallion. So Tory posted to his Instagram, or someone on his behalf, and the statement was, Tory was stabbed 14 times, including 7 wounds to his back, 4 to his torso, 2 to the back of the head, and 1 to the left side of his face. Both of his lungs collapsed, and he was breathing on an apparatus. He is now breathing on his own. Despite being in pain, he is talking normally and in good spirits and deeply thankful to God that he is pulling through. He also wants to thank everyone for their continued prayers and support. So, listen, he just posted 4 days ago a picture. The date of it said April 5th of this year with, I guess, his prison brethren. And he said he has a new album that will be dropping this summer. And it's called Slutty Bass. So, maybe that was antagonizing. I'm not sure. We'll probably hear more details about what happened and if they have anyone in custody behind the situation. But, woo, it is certainly a lot going on in these here social media streets. So I want to know if you guys have any, what your thoughts are about the first day of the Diddy trial, because there was a lot there and it's day one. But it does seem like they are going to move through these witnesses rather quickly, right? As I mentioned, they got through 2 witnesses and opening statements plus jury selection today. So it was a long day, but they're trying to move this along and see what happens. Now, if you want to know about Diddy's condition, they said Diddy looked to be older. They said he looked like he had lived all 55 of his years. We're used to seeing Diddy look a little more enhanced, according to some. He has gray hair, no Beijing popping off in jail, right? But he did have a fresh haircut, goatee. They said that he was looking very involved when his lawyers were asking questions, and that he definitely took some water breaks. He seemed nervous. I mentioned that when testimony started in reference to some of the more weightier conversation and details, his daughters did leave the courtroom. His daughter, Chance, who is 18, she'll be 19 this summer. She is attending college at NYU. She's probably out for the semester. She was there along with Jesse and Delilah, the 2 twins. Justin was there accompanying his mom, and Mama Combs, Janice Combs, was also in the building. So a lot went down, you know. So let me give you some more entertainment news updates. Beyonce's Cowboy Carter tour has debuted with a gross revenue of $55 million for the first 5 dates. And it has set records already for the biggest single venue engagement for a woman in history, right? And this is according to Billboard. So they said that 217,000 tickets were sold during her first 5 shows right here in LA, right in Inglewood at the SoFi Stadium. And that during the 3-hour performance, B did what she does. You know, we saw the clips, or maybe you're avoiding them. She was flying around in a horseshoe. We saw her in, was that a Caddy? I don't know what kind of old school, maybe a Ford. She was taking flight in that. We saw the babies, Blue and Rumi, take the stage. And, you know, looks like we've talked about it. Blue is definitely in her apprentice era, getting ready for something. I don't know, something. But Beyonce is continuing to do the things that people say she can't and she couldn't and she wouldn't do. So shout out to B. Shout out to, everything that she is doing over there. All right, now, Girlfriends fans, we know that Forever just dropped on Netflix. Shout out to that 8-part series. You know, we dropped the interviews with Mara and the cast on Friday here on the show. But people still want to know what's going to happen with Girlfriends. What is going to be the resolution for that show? And Mara says that, she's talked about it over the years as she's been asked that she would love to sort of see where they are now or what they've been through, how they've changed, grown, as with the fans. But thus far, no studio has come calling. She said she's not interested in doing a series per se, but a film, right? And she said she needs $50 million to turn the show into a movie. She appeared on Sherry Shepherd and discussed this. And she was like, please pass the plate. Listen, I would love to see it. I think we all would, to see what Tony, Joan, and Maya are up to in 2025 or wherever they jump ahead to, and get a proper resolution, a proper ending for the show, because it meant so much to us. And I want to get into it. So more from the YouTube chat. Morris Phillips says, Diddy is fortunate that Trump is president. A fistful of dollars could gain his release. We'll see. How much dollars does he have at this time since he's fighting for his life? I'm sure his defense is costing millions and millions of dollars. And does he still have all the same assets that he had before? How many of his accounts are frozen or of that nature? So it's a lot happening, y'all. It is a lot going in. All right. We got into so much tonight. Like, I am literally breathless because of all the information that went down here. But you know, that's how we do. That's what we do. We make sure that we get all the details on it. Oh, one more little thing. Damson Idris and Anna Maria Vitellome are going to be starring in Miles and Juliet, a Paris-based film produced by Mick Jagger about the early love life of Miles Davis and actress Juliette Greco, French actress. So be on the lookout for that. More black art being created, more stories. So, and I'm saying black art because I believe that there are some other black individuals involved and not just Damson in that role. But that's it, y'all. We covered all of the details of the first day of Diddy's trial, Lil Wayne's breakup, Tory Lanez prison altercation. Make sure you get at me at Stiletto Jill. Let me know your thoughts, and make sure that you are back here tomorrow, 6 p.m. for your entertainment news update. You know what it is. Coming up next is Zoe Williams. Make sure that you are ready and locked and loaded for this real conversation Zoe's about to give to you. I will tap in with you guys tomorrow.
MC means move the crowd. I made it easy to dance to this. But can you detect what's coming next from the flex of the wrist? Say indeed, then I'll proceed, cause my man made a mix. If he bleed, he won't need no band-aid to fix his fingertips. So I'm rhyming till there's no rhymes left. I hurry up because the cut'll make him bleed to death. But he's kicking it, cause it ain't no half-stepping. The party is live, the rhyme can't be kept inside of me. Erupting just like a volcano. It ain't the everyday style or the same old rhyme, cause I'm better than the rest of them. Every B is on the cut, and my name is Rock Kim. Make a clap to this.